This is Keith Boggs of Stonebriar Property Inspections, and this is the inspection debrief for 62. Actually, it's 54, right? I think I put 45.
Yeah, it's 6254.
It's actually 60. I'll have to change it. 6254. So I've got about 120 items here. Some of these are videos, like I was saying earlier. Some of these pictures are just for me. Some of them are for talking points, and some of them are actual defects. First picture you see here, just a picture of the front of the house. There it goes. Nothing necessarily wrong. That's just for the title page of the report. This is the location of the gas meter and the water meter. This is your garage and your covered area here. This is where the actual water meter is located. This is a video of the, should be showing you, this is what's called a low flow indicator. So if any water is running in the house or if there's a leak, this will start spinning around. So I look at it for a couple minutes and then last 30 seconds, I take a little 30-second video so you can see that there's no supply leaks, nothing going on the supply side. So I'm going to play that so we have it for the recording. It's only about 30 seconds. And so we're looking right here. This is also, if you think of a leak before you call a plumber, you can go do this yourself. You just go out. It's very sensitive. Even if you just barely turn the water on where it's barely coming out, this thing will slowly spin around.
Got it. So it's not just leaks, it's also just any water usage.
No, not drainage. Not drainage, only on supply.
Okay.
Yep. It'll spin around. The more water flowing through there, the faster it spins around. But it's sitting completely still, which is what we want. This is a plumbing vent that is not tall enough. You can see it's almost this height of the roof. It needs to be minimum of 6 inches above the roof cover. So up around here. That can cause drainage problems. I did not notice any drainage problems here. And I did run everything. When I went to do the plumbing inspection underneath the house, the crawl inspection, I ran everything. I ran the dishwasher, ran the kitchen sink, ran all the sinks in the house, all the showers, ran all the water flowing through there to try to overload the system to look for leaks. And I did not see any leaks, but there were some areas that I could not inspect. We'll get to that in a minute. But no, this is just a tree that's getting close to the roof. You want to keep that trimmed back. That can damage the roof over time. And then you've got some dead debris at a couple locations. So that debris can hide defects and also over time damage the roof. So then somebody needs to get up there and clean off those leaves. This pitch in the back is not very steep. So unless you're afraid of heights, just hire a handyman. Same thing here, more debris. This is the only place I saw a little bit of damage. You can see a little damage to the roof cover right there. Right there, that's at the front of the house. Overall, the roof cover, and I've got a video of the roof cover, overall it's in good condition. Shingles show very little signs of any kind of aging. Not sure if they disclose the age of the roof. They usually do. But it's a good quality roof too. It's not a crappy 3-tab roof. Mm-hmm. It's a good quality roof, so it should last, provided we don't get a really bad storm. It should last you a long time. And that's just the location of it. And I think the next one is the video. Yeah. People are always asking about the roof, so I just started taking videos of it. This is short too. Oh, somebody's coming up here. I have to pause this. That's almost done.
Lovely.
She came out a couple minutes ago. She finally came out. Yep.
Here you are. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna close the.
I closed the crawl space already. As soon as she jumped out, I went and closed it.
Okay, thank you. I was just coming over here to make sure she was.
Yeah, I tried for a half an hour, and then once she got here, I guess she must have heard us talking, and then she got interested, and she jumped right out.
Yeah. Oh.
She's always trying to get out.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's more interesting out there than
Yeah.
here. Okay, thanks, guys.
Do you guys need to come in, by the way? Like, do you need to?
We
grab some?
Oh, no, just.
Oh, you just worried about the cat?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
cool.
good.
Okay, cool. Thank
All
you.
right.
Couple more seconds. This is your condenser. This information is really just for me. Manufacturer's label. I use that to make sure that the breaker in the panel box is the correct breaker, which it was. This is a little short video of the condenser, just showing you how it's running and the condition of it. It was pulling a high differential, about 24 degree differential, which is about 4 degrees too high, 2 to 4 degrees too high. But there was a filter. The filter in there was a 6-month filter, and it's been there for 10 months. So a dirty filter can cause that differential to go higher.
Okay.
And so you're not getting an accurate reading on the differential. So, but since it's dirty, I'm gonna recommend that somebody come out and just service the equipment, just to make sure that no harm has occurred to the equipment, because sometimes the dirty filter can damage the equipment. This is a large tree, so you've got a couple large trees that are close to the foundation. They're not really affecting the foundation. I don't see any need to remove them. I usually only get worried about trees when they're near plumbing areas, like main double clean outs and stuff. So if you're concerned about the trees, you can have a plumber come out and and scope the drain lines with a camera. But today everything was operating fine. This picture is just a reminder to tell you that there is very little attic ventilation in the soffits. The only ventilation is that one turbo vent spinning around up there. So inadequate ventilation can cause the roof to age faster and cause moisture problems. So the best thing would have somebody and a handyman can do this is go around and install. You need one vent for every 150 square feet. So what are we about 10 vents around the perimeter of the structure. It's super easy to do. This is one of your electrical outlets, and this is, I guess, painted in place. I couldn't get it open. There's another one that I did get open, and I tested it, but that one right down there is painted in place. You'll notice that paint's peeling away. This is basically from them not priming it before they painted it, so the paint just doesn't stick.
Yeah.
So if you're going to repaint it one day, I'd recommend pressure washing the wood, not with their super strong pressure washer, because that can damage the wood. Pressure wash everything, and then anything areas that seem to have a little paint still, just kind of sand them down and then paint and prime it. It'll look better. These older houses, they put layer upon layer upon layer.
Right.
God knows how many layers of paint are on there. That's just where it's located. You do have high soil at a few locations. So if you're doing and you got some vegetation touching the structure. So if you're doing a VA loan or FHA loan, also some smaller banks will require that you remediate those conditions, either treat the area for termites or lower the soil or trim the vegetation. If you're doing a conventional or paying cash, then it doesn't matter. Same thing here, just high soil. This is the water pressure to the house. I've got it a little tighter. It's not quite. It's closer to 60, but it's between 50 and 60. The range is 40 to 80, so it's within range. This is just a loose piece of exterior siding right down there. Another large tree. This is high soil, and then I was able to get the cover open to test the GFCI, but it's defective. It's quit working, so that needs to be replaced. That's something will definitely be in the report, and that's just where it's located. This is some fascia boards here that have got some wood rot on them. It looks like it's getting some kind of organic growth. Most of the fascia boards appear to be in pretty good shape. A few of them have a little bit of damage, so somebody needs to go around and either replace the whole fascia board. That would be a preferable way to do it, or repair it. That's just where it's located. It's up front here. The same thing here. It's basically on the same side of the house. So it's this board here and that board there. Okay, so at the rear of the structure, you've got a wood deck covering the structure and touching the structure. So again, that's considered a conducive condition. If it's an FHA or VA, they're going to want that either treated underneath there or trimmed away from the structure. Also, this blocks my view of anything below that deck. I can't really see there. That's just the different areas. This, you get another large tree here. Some of the lower boards, it looks like they replaced them with some kind of composite. I can't even tell what it is, but it's delaminating, coming apart. So some of these lower boards here may not be actually wood. These are wood. Some of these lower boards here that they've replaced. Looks like they use some kind of inferior, real wood wouldn't do that. This is your panel box. Most of the labels you cannot read. They're faded. That's just for me. Put in the report, it's 125 amp service, which is fine for this size structure. If you ever make the house bigger, then you probably have to upgrade the panel box. This is inside the panel box. You see you've got 2 wires going to the same location there. 2 wires, 2 or 3 wires going to the same location. That's called double tapping or multiple tapping, and that's a fire hazard and can damage equipment connected to those circuits. So it should be like this: neutral wire, terminal, neutral wire, terminal. Separation of the wires. So an electrician will need to add an additional bus bar there. Very common during this time frame. I even find this not that bad, but I find it even today. This is for me. There's 6 actual sprinkler zones. There were some issues with the sprinklers. So this is some broken plumbing, and this is in zone. That's where it's located right there, and that's in zone 1. This is broken. You can see it's shooting up there. That's broken plumbing. 2 locations, I think, of this zone. Right there. And then that's in zone 2. Of course, I won't put my fingers in the report.
Sure.
Same here. I've got some leaking pop-ups. That one's shooting straight up in the air. That's zone 3. So the first 3 zones, I've got need some repair to be done. This is, you can't really tell, but it's actually bubbling out from over there. That's in zone 5, I think. Yep, zone 5. And then you've got one more area by the deck and by the back little area there, sitting area. That's in zone. That's just my code for zone 6. This is your dryer vent termination. It appears, we can't center it here, but it appears that the vent is connected to here, but the vent hood has come loose. That's just, you put it up there and stick a nail in there. That's something you can do yourself. That's just where it's located. This is a trim board that's come out of place. This is the front drive. So most of this cracking is very normal. There's a couple locations. We're going to get to those. You've got pretty good sized deflections. So anything taller than 1 inch is considered a trip hazard. So that's something for liability reasons you may want to think about. They could probably just add some additional mortar there and add some mortar back here to kind of raise it up a little bit to make it less of a trip hazard. This is inside the fireplace. So this is the burner pipe right here. It goes across the whole bottom of the, well, actually it's about right there. And it's leaking. The gas is leaking out of the connection. So that connection appears to be cracked. So that needs to be repaired. This is Creosote that came out of the chimney. So I'm recommending a chimney sweep. Creosote's a fire hazard. This is this door going from the kitchen to the back patio. You can't tell. This is it's a keyed. It's a keyed deadbolt. It's called a single cylinder. You want a double cylinder deadbolt. So the outside's keyed, to the inside you can do it by hand.
Okay.
So that's a fire hazard and a safety hazard. So if there's a fire and that was your only way out, and the key was removed, you can't get out. Or if somebody's breaking in the front door and you're trying to get out of the back door and the key is gone, you can't get out. So that needs to be replaced with a double cylinder. This is the dishwasher, showing that the dishwasher does work. Again, this is just for our uses. So part of the kitchen is not GFCI protected. It's been remodeled. I'm not sure when they remodeled it. It looks like it's fairly new. If they pulled permit, they would have been required to make all the outlets in the kitchen GFCI protected. The ones by the sinks are GFCI protected though. This is to remind you that I did fill up this. Remind me to tell you that I did fill up the sinks with water, or the sink with water, and drained them and ran the disposal at the same time to look for leaks, and there were no leaks. This is the microwave, and the microwave does not work. It runs like it's heating, but no, it's not heating anything. That's just manufacturer label. That's for me. This is your cooktop, showing all the burners. They do all work. Okay, so there, you've probably noticed if you walk around the house, some of the flooring is unlevel. Also some unlevelness to the roof.
Yeah.
Underneath, from what I could see, there's some limited accessibility down there because the clearances are low and the insulation under there, some areas has fallen down, so you can't really see all the different areas. But from what I could see, all the piers appear to be standing up nice and straight with the girder sitting on top of them. So this may be, from what I could see, there may be something that I can't see, but the house is 80 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we have expansive clay soils here, so this kind of stuff may come and go. There's one door that didn't close in place, the master door, and this is also some bowing. This may just be the ceilings because over time it's come loose. The attic is covered with insulation, so we can't really see them there. This is showing some movement, a separation of this crown molding. Same thing there, and then some separations of the actual ceiling. These are your two Bosch ovens. They're both set to 350, and they both heated to 350. That's just manufacturer's label. This is showing also a little bit of movement. It's pretty minor. You can see that kind of stuff even in brand new houses. That's just where it's located. Same thing there. Pretty common type of stuff, especially for North Texas. This kind of stuff occurs all the time. The smoke alarms appear to be very old, so any smoke alarm that's over 10 years old needs to be replaced because you can test it and it will test correctly, but if there's a fire, it may not work correctly.
Okay.
This is inside the master, and you can see the door is out of square. It sticks a little bit. And again, different times of the year, this condition may come and go, and sometimes summertime it may close fine. That's just the door it's at. This looks like there's been some past repairs to the skylight there in the master bathroom. So we want to, so this will be in the report. We just want to know what happened. Was there a leak? We just want to know what was going on. This is just right behind you, actually. Again, the flooring's a little uneven there. You can see it really good now. The light underneath the door.
Yep.
Here you can't really see it. But this is the insulation depth. The minimum is 12 inches. You got about 12 to 14 inches. This is the area in front of the furnace. Most of it's covered with insulation. I walked apart areas that I felt comfortable walking on. I don't know if there's sheathing under here to walk on. It doesn't look like there is. So this is a working area. This is where if someone was to go up there, they needed to have a flat area where they can remove that furnace, do repairs, and not worry about stepping to the roof. Also, this is where you replace your filter, and you don't want to be up there, falling through the roof, the ceiling. There's a mouse trap up there, so they've had some rodent activity. Pretty minor.
Or preventative.
Yeah. You said what preventative? You said it is preventative?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
That's said they would have had some rodent activity. They may just be up there.
Yeah, there's a few droppings here, but it's not very much. I don't believe any rodents are nesting because there would be an exorbitant amount of poop up there on the insulation everywhere. It'd be everywhere. So I don't believe they're nesting. Now, if you're concerned about that, you can obviously call it a pest person. Most of the area is covered with insulation, so I'm not sure how they're going to. This is your Coleman furnace. This is the temperature differential, so we're looking for 15 to 20 degrees. So this is the difference between the supply and the return. We have a 41 on the supply. The return we have a 65, so that's a 24-degree differential. So that's about 2 to 4 degrees too high. But again, the dirty filter could be making that occur. So we did have it just for peace of mind, have an HVAC guy come out and just service the equipment. And that's the filter when it was installed. So almost 10 months ago.
Okay.
And it is pretty dirty. This is just some trim boards at the attic access, and they need to be nailed back in place. That's pretty minor. So this is underneath the house. I've got a bunch of pictures underneath here. This area is pretty clear, and I can see pretty good. But you'll see here in a minute. That's a little blurry. That's a better picture. That's the same picture, just a little better picture. This is all the plumbing here. It's all modern plumbing, which is good. It's not cast iron, because that can be problematic. Everything underneath there that I could see was modern, which is good. And then there's areas you can't even see. There's insulation falling down there, falling out of place. You can see it right here falling down. But this is some pictures. See the girders look good. And there's been some repair because some of this girders and some of this wood underneath there is newer. You can tell it's newer wood. So probably some minor, if you're worried about the levelness, you probably got to just have some adjustments done. I don't think you need to add any piers or anything major. But if you wanted to make the house a little more level, you could probably do that. It wouldn't be super expensive. Actually, I got better pictures than I thought. But you can see this is a new piece of wood right there.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, new wood. Some of the pictures aren't good. That's a pretty good picture, but it looks pretty good there. I overloaded the system. I didn't see even if there was areas that I can't see, some really low access. Usually you can hear dripping onto the ground. It sounds different than going through the pipes, and I didn't hear anything. So I feel pretty confident that the plumbing is fine. I get a lot of blurry pictures. Well, it looks pretty good. I got more good pictures than I thought I got. You can see that's new. Hey, buddy. That's it. That's the last picture. Any questions?
No, I don't think so. Not on this. We've got it recorded.
Yep. This will be all recorded. Once we get done, I'm gonna actually I'll stop it.